And sticking with the theme of, just life outside of cricket, something personal that you shared a few years ago, back in 2016, you were diagnosed with jaw cancer, which effectively ended your commentary career. And, I read that you had to undergo intensive treatment that included a 14-hour surgery and a replacement of your jaw. Now, I work with cancer patients on a daily basis, and I know everyone approaches their diagnosis differently. Can you elaborate on how you dealt with it in those first few months and how that has changed your life since then?
Oh gosh, um, Benny, for me, I had what is called adenoid cystic carcinoma. And before I proceed, let me tell you, this part of my face is reconstructed. The good thing was that my skin was intact. The cancer had attacked my jawbone. It had come out of the salivary gland, engulfed the jawbone and everything else with it. They totally reconstructed the jaw in the sense that they cut because they wanted to preserve my face for commentary, they promised that they would not normally they cut from the lip downwards, right through the neck here, open it out, and then saw off the jaw that's been affected and remove everything. So they said, we'll try our best. So what they did was they started from under the jaw, right through the neck to the ear, opened it out, and worked like that. They actually clip it on here, and then they saw off the jaw and everything. So they removed the jaw right from here till here and replaced it with the fibula, which is from the left leg. That thin bone that you have that is not the load-bearing bone, but it's a bone where a lot of your muscles are attached to. There is the tibia and the fibula in your leg. So the fibula is the bone which a lot of your calf muscles and other ankle muscles are attached to. So they cut that out, made small pieces, and made the jaw. They removed everything. So I have no feeling this side of my face. I have no nerves. I have no salivary glands, lymph nodes, no muscles. The main, the masticulating muscle has been removed, everything. This face is, it's just preserved. They made the jaw, only otherwise the face would just go right in. And they replaced the tongue rests on a muscle. And that had been affected as well. So they removed that, took everything out of the leg, muscle from my left leg, and made a new muscle on which the tongue would rest. I didn't know that then, but if you don't have that or you have a problem, then your tongue gets depressed and you find it difficult to talk. You can't talk and neither can you swallow. So to do that, they had the main time was used up in providing blood to these new constructions. The inside of the mouth, which they call the flap, the inside of the cheek had to be redone and the muscle had to be redone. So they had to supply the blood, and the capillaries and everything were taken from the leg and done. So it's unbelievable what they did. And it's one of those things that they had a fabulous day at the office. And I was very lucky that they did. They kept me alive for so long. Normally they do an operation like this, at least in India, I was told that sometimes you have to close you and then open you again after 3 months to carry it on. So I was fortunate that they managed to do it. And here I am talking, almost, my diction is almost there, 90% there. And I'm swallowing, I'm eating food, because when I went into the operation, they were not sure that I would be able to swallow. So I might have had to have that tube through my nose for the rest of my life. But I'm better than before, yeah. The marvels of modern day medicine and medical people. And they were all young guys. They were all, with a sense of humor. I remember going into the operation and one of them telling me, Arun, now that we're going to really alter your face, Who would you like to be like? Would you want to be, you know, uh, whatever, Brad Pitt? I said, no, 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 no. I want to be whatever. So things like that, they kept it very, and I know the pressure, when I was talking about pressure, these guys were under enormous pressure, going into this operation. It's not an ordinary one. I don't think they had too much experience with it either, but they were a very committed team. The plastic surgeons had to do it. The oncologists had to do it. There were about a battery of about 12, 14 who were all involved in doing their bit in this. So it was fabulous, but I was absolutely fit when I was diagnosed. I was training for 2.5 hours. I couldn't believe it. I had this pain in the jaw. I had this problem, yes, and I had had it for about a couple of years. I'd ignored it, thinking that it's a tooth problem. It wasn't easy to diagnose, and it was left to fester and reach such an advanced stage that it totally engulfed everything. But I was still fit. I had a pain in the jaw, but I was doing everything. I was doing commentary, I was training, I was doing everything like a normal person, and I thought myself to be like Superman. Yeah? So when it happened, it was a bit of a blow, but I said, it never once occurred to me that I would lose my life. Never once. Not even once did it happen. I thought, it's a minor distraction. Although I had to forfeit contracts, worth a lot of money for about 3 or 4. They said 6 months, you can't. And I remember there being the IPL and the World Cup, it was February, and it's just 2-3 months. So one of the doctors said that, Arun, it's been there for about 2.5, 3 years, and we can wait another 2 months, 3 months if you want. I said, no, now I want to get it out now. If I have to, I want to do it now. So they said, the good thing about your cancer is that it's one of the slowest growing cancers. That's why you survived. This is the one cancer that will give you an opportunity to fight it. And it's not that you're going to wake up one day and find that, oh gosh, it's in the liver, it's here, it's there. The bad thing about this cancer is that it can never leave you. You'll never be cured of it. It's going to come back. But it's going to give you time to fight it. So there's good and bad. And they told me that, you could carry on and finish your contracts, and then we'd operate on you after 3 months. But I didn't do that. I couldn't handle it like that, knowing that it's there. And so I went through the operation. They said, once you go under the knife, it's going to be about 6 months at least. It's maybe 2 operations, lots of radiation. And in this particular cancer, chemotherapy doesn't work. Because chemotherapy works only on cells that are multiplying that much faster. This is so slow that it cannot identify it. So it's only radiation. And so I went through very strong radiations and the maximums of it. But that's it. It didn't quite, when I try and think back now, the only thing that I came out of it relatively unscathed was the fact that I never once imagined that I'm going to die. Never occurred to me that it could be life-threatening. I don't know why that was. Maybe my sporting background. I don't know what it was. But I just thought, it's a major inconvenience, but nothing more than that. I'm going to come out of it. That's probably what helped me. Very positive. Even more than the operation, what really affected me was the radiation. Because I lost all taste. My tongue is totally burnt to this day. When your tongue gets scalded with very hot tea or very hot something, and you've got that feeling for a day or so. I've been like that for 5 years. I have very little taste. Taste is a bit of a disaster. But other than that, I am back to being better than before.
And the reason I was asking you that is because usually when patients have been diagnosed with cancer, they either stay the same or their perspective on life changes. And it sounds to me like the positive attitude that it was not at that instant, but right from your playing days to your commentary days, just the attitude that you had towards life, it sounds like that helped you carry through it, where despite all of the things that you just mentioned, all of the changes that physically uh, now that has changed for you, you're still looking at it like, I'm grateful for everything, and I will still continue to live life. I will still continue to exercise my passion in the game by doing what I love. And it sounds like that's what's helped carry you, and this it hasn't really impacted your life in a major way. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. I think the one thing you've got to have, you've got to fight such a debilitating affliction is this positivity.
Hmm.
You've just got to imagine the best. All the time the best. Let your mind never, even for a moment, be distracted by any negativity. And I suppose that goes for everything, Benny. I mean, in any field of endeavor, in any activity in life, if you're imagining the worst, then generally that happens. And if you're positive about it, as they say, the whole universe conspires to make it happen.
Right.
I actually believe in that. And it's helped me a lot. I absolutely believe that there are forces in the universe that unknowingly, because we're not aware of it at the moment, unknowingly, you can actually make them work for you. You can get luck on your side. You can get things to happen for you. But you've got to be a believer in self, believer in everything good is going to happen to me. It
Right.
just has to happen to me. And it does happen to me. I actually believe that. I believe that I'm God's son here. Anytime there's something wrong that's happening, it automatically corrects itself. And I'm one of the chosen few. So it's been that way. And my perspective to life, I've got to admit, has changed. When I came out of it and I thought that, I can do commentary, I just don't feel like doing it anymore. I wanted to travel. I wanted to spend more time with myself and my passion of the environment. So that same zest for doing commentary and enjoying it, and that had gone. So I started, I was pulled into coaching and I'm enjoying that very much. And I actually do believe, I'm not saying it for effect, I actually do believe that I am happier now than I was before I had this operation. And maybe that's how my perspective to life has changed. I'm a lot happier. I'm a lot more grateful for for breathing. Yeah? The greatest gift of all is life itself. So
Right.
it is, so not to be cluttered with what's happening to you and what's not happening to you and what you want and what you don't want and what he has said or what she has said. It's so irrelevant. And as your physics expert will tell you, I mean, when you look at the universe, it doesn't matter. Yeah, nothing matters.